good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Everybody, welcome to Tea Time. That's right, it's Monday night. It is November 4th, the day before Election Day. So all I'm saying is, look, I don't discuss politics or religion, but everyone's got to vote, right? That's what they're saying. Let me talk about my weekend real quick and get to my guests. So it started with Thursday night, actually. Thursday night, Halloween night, I went to the Warehouse in Amityville. I got a picture there, and I went to go see the legendary Murphys, which was really, really cool. Yeah, that was fun. I think I have a pic. There they are, legendary Murphys. They were great, and I was with my friend Matthew Panzo. We dressed like a couple from the 70s. And then Monica Stola was there. Shout out to Monica. She does a show here that can be seen on Thursdays. Monica was great. She actually won third prize for that costume. We had a lot of fun. Thank you. And Friday night, I just stayed home and I was getting everything ready because Saturday and Sunday, I did a garage sale. I have a lot of stuff to get rid of, and it was very successful. Beautiful both days, thank God. And while I was there, Senator came. Senator Steve Rhodes stopped by. There he is. Came to my yard sale. So it was nice meeting him. Lovely man, lives in Belmore. Had a nice conversation with him. And that was it. So Saturday and Sunday, that's what I did. I worked at my garage sale. And I want to give a shout out because the Italian chicks, there they are. Leave that up. Thank you. Danny Aiello's Italian Chicks of Comedy. Marianne Mazzano and her two Italian chicks are joining her at my father's place. Okay, on November 15th. I am an Italian chick. I will not be at this particular show, but I want to tell you, get your tickets. Just get them. It's a great show. The website's there. Go see Marianne and the girls. It is a fun, fun, fun night at my father's place. Thank you. And I also wanted to tell you that my friend John DeResta is going to be at Governor's Comedy Club the weekend of, the weekend of the 15th or 16th? Something like that? I don't know. I didn't look at the dates. I'm sorry. Forgive me, John. But the weekend, I'm sorry. I'll look during the break and correct myself. But it's going to be at Governor's Comedy Club, coming in from California. So go to Govs and go check him out because he's funny as hell. John and I worked together in the 90s. All right, let me get to my guest because I'm excited he's here. He's an actor. He's a comedian. He's a singer. He's done so much behind the scenes as well in front of the scenes. Dennis Newman, hello.
Actually, it's Newman.
Is it Newman?
No.
That's for Michael. Lagutata. See, I'm not saying it right. Go say it. You say his last name.
Lagatuda?
Lagatuda. That's it. Michael Lagatuda. I have to spell.
You almost made me say it wrong.
I gotta sound it out, write it out phonetically. Anyway, I'm so excited. It was funny because Michael broke my chops. He's like, it's Newman. I'm like, I know how to say his last name.
That's why I did that to you.
Anyway, so listen, we've met each other years ago.
Yes.
And we've worked together a few times, even though we haven't had scenes together. But I want to know, because doing like research on you, it's like you could work for the FBI or the CIA too. It was hard to like find some information on you.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like where you grew up and where you went to school. Just basic information.
You need. I have my own private detective that can find anything out.
But where did you? No, seriously.
I grew up in Belmore. I went to Memton.
Oh, you
So,
did?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Then my daughter went there too. Cool.
I was
All
joking
right.
because my girlfriend, who you know, she could find anything out about anybody. It's actually almost scary.
I know.
She found more about my family out than I
Really?
knew about them. Yes.
Without using like
Just the internet.
Right. Oh, really? Then I should have talked to her before
After the show, I'll hook you guys
So you
up
went
and
to
talk to her.
Mepham. My daughter went to Mepham also. Okay, so as a kid, because you're a big guy, you're a big gentleman. Were you into sports there?
Not so much school sports, but I did play hockey.
You did. Roller
You know, when I was
or
a little kid, I played football, but I was like the big kid on the little kid team.
Did you do roller or ice?
I did deck hockey.
Oh, deck,
And then
okay.
eventually I did roller, but I started too late with that, so couldn't skate as well as everybody else. Actually, I got a funny story about that. I went to what I thought was an open roller hockey game.
Yeah.
You know, just like a pickup game, and I went there, and I was by far the worst player. And it was actually getting frustrating to the point where I fell going into the bench. I took all my stuff off. I was ready to leave, and the guy asked me why I was there. I said, I thought this was an open game. He's like, no, this is an open tryout for the professional roller hockey team, the Long Island Jaws.
Oh my God.
Then I felt a little bit better. I'm like, now I know why I suck, because I'm going against future pros here.
Wow, that is wild. All right, so we have a picture of you
Uh-oh.
when you were much younger in a uniform. You want to tell
Yes.
me about that pic?
This was back when Desert Storm started. I was with a bunch of my friends, listened on the radio, and we discussed if it was just Desert Shield at the time.
Okay.
And we said, if it goes into a war, would you join? And every one of us said yes. I was the only one stupid enough to actually join.
You mean
But by the time I
they
got in, the
didn't
war
and
was
you
over.
did?
So I was the only one that.
Wow,
yeah.
thank you for your service.
Thank you. I didn't see any action. There was no
No, but
thrilling
you still,
military
but you
career.
still, but you still volunteered and
Yeah.
joined. I mean, that's.
I mean, I didn't know how long it was going to last. I didn't realize it was going to be
No.
a short thing. Because you see, nowadays a war starts, that goes on for years.
Yeah,
so.
no, I know. So, and let's talk about Halloween, because Halloween just passed,
Yes.
and I brought it up during the intro. And I know you're a man who likes Halloween and
I
likes
do.
to get dressed up.
I
So
do.
let's show a few of those. This scared the crap out of me when I saw that, not for nothing, hiding behind the friggin' bush. How long ago was that?
That was last year, I believe.
Was
yes.
it? And then we have another one. These were so cool.
Oof, that was, I don't even know what year that was. That was in the 90s at some point.
Yeah. And then this one was great too.
That might have been late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. But how much fun? I mean, it's so much fun.
Yes.
It's so great. All right, so let's talk about your music career. Let's start with that.
Okay.
Because I saw some videos of you singing, and you got a great voice.
I loved
really do.
karaoke.
We love karaoke.
I wasn't always a good singer. I just liked to have fun.
Yeah.
So the more I did a song, obviously, the better I got at it.
Right.
And then a mutual friend of ours, Billy Mira,
Billy,
hosted.
shout out to Billy.
Yes. He did a live rock karaoke show.
That's
I think at the Crazy
cool.
Donkey. I might be getting it wrong. I'm sorry
Okay.
if I am.
All right.
But I got out there and I sang a Motley Crue song, Livewire, and the place was packed, and I was like, "Is this what it's like being in a band? I have to do this."
My cousin owned that place. by the
Really?
way.
Wow. But it was definitely a lot of fun playing with actual live musicians.
Yeah, that's-
and
but
looking
it's
at a
totally
crowd.
different
Very different from
than
karaoke.
Backtrack.
It was. I'm not a drug guy. I don't know what it's like to be high, but I think I got a pretty good feeling that night because it was definitely a lot of fun.
Oh my God, that's great. We have some pics. Now, you were in a band. It was called Stimulus.
Yes.
And we have some pics with that as well. Now, I don't know if they're all, is that the only band you were with? Or
Yes.
you were,
We changed a couple of people around here and there, but it's always been
You
Stimulus.
played at Jugs and
Played Jugs and Strokers quite a few times. Belmore Billiards when it existed.
Yes.
We did private parties.
Yeah. But how fun is that?
That was great.
So I watched a few of the videos of you singing, and I'm like, the man could sing. And I know you were there for karaoke at Coasters a few
Yes.
times.
Yes.
So,
I was surprised on the amount of, especially comedians that were like very talented singing. I guess it shouldn't be because an entertainer's an entertainer. Yes. But like everyone that got up, I'm like, oh wow, I don't even want to sing anymore. These people are too good.
Oh my Oh, that's great. It's so funny. Listen, so shout outs to everybody watching. V's watching. We'll talk about who she is in a little while. And Michael's watching, and Michael Norton from Florida, and
Michael
Bruno
Laguda. What do you call him?
Wait. La Gatuta.
There you go.
Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Everybody tuning in. But yeah, so how long were you with Stimulus? Do you still, when was the last time you played out with them?
Wow, I don't even remember.
But you were with them a while, no?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would probably 9 years.
That's a long time.
Since I played with them, yeah.
Yeah.
We were together on and off for years as well. You know, we used to. We
Because
loved
it's
Halloween shows. We used to do a Valentine's
Yeah.
show every year where every
Yeah.
song we played was our version of a love song. So, you know, it started out just talking a bar, and then it got formulated into a band. We had a lot of fun. We started as a cover band.
I was going to say, it was all covers, and then you did.
Yeah, we wanted to do originals, but then when it actually got down to it, it's kind of tough when you have like real life responsibilities and jobs. So we never got the original stuff going.
It's hard too, and being in a band is like a marriage, except you're married to like 4 other people if it's a 5-piece band.
And
you know, what I mean?
doing originals, not only do you have to get together and create the songs and master them, but you got to sell them because it's, you know, a lot of people don't want to see an original band anymore. Like Long Island used to be one of the top music scenes back in the 70s and 80s, and then it kind of went away. Now everybody wants to see the cover bands.
Yeah, the cover bands are very, 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 very popular now. It's very hard to find a band that does originals. You know what I'm saying?
And there are some great ones out there.
There are.
You know.
There are. You know, I used to go to Dublin Pub back in the day, and you used to go all over Long Island.
The Touch.
That's
used
where
to
I
see them
saw.
all the
That's where
time,
I
yeah.
used to see the Touch all the time.
I got to go. I see they're still playing.
They are.
Touch the 80s, I think they're called now, or something.
Yes, and they were. I saw them in Bayside, on Bell Boulevard, and then recently they were at Platt Deutsch.
Yes.
So they're still out there doing it after.
Good for them. They were amazing. I'm sure they still are, but
They are. They are. They really are. But it's just amazing to see a band last that long.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because again, people get married, they have kids, they have, you know, it's like, how do you fit everything in sometimes?
trying
you
to
know?
think, it was probably 30 years ago I first saw them.
Yeah, easy. It was
And
definitely
the fact that
in
they're
the
still
80s.
together, like you said, that's
it's crazy, right? I mean, I think 2, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3. I know 2 were definitely the originals.
Okay.
I don't know about everybody else. But, yeah, to go out every week. You went out every weekend to see live bands.
Yeah, Sunday night
Now,
was like the night at Dublin because of them.
You were lead singer in
Yes.
Stimulus. You don't play an instrument, right?
Not well. I've tried a lot of things. I'm not a musician.
All right, no, because I know you were up front.
Yes.
But it was fun, right? It was just fun.
It was loads of fun.
I mean, would you want to go back to it?
I would. I totally would.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like I said, life gets in the way. I used to even do a show here as well.
Yeah.
5-year anniversary since my last show.
Yeah.
But it just, you know how tough and time consuming it is. And then try to get 3 to 4, maybe even 5 other schedules together with yours
it's
to
hard. It's
practice.
Hard. It's hard.
That's why I like to cover songs, because we could kind of practice on our own and then get together and just fine tune it.
When you did practice with the band, did you practice at a studio with someone's garage or?
Yeah, usually a studio.
Yeah.
There was a few that we used to use. So.
Yeah. Out on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. Sorry.
Nah, it's okay. Don't worry
I give you a free
about
plug.
it.
I just don't remember.
It's okay. Hey, listen, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take my first break already. This is how fast it goes.
Wow.
All right, but stay right there because we're going to talk about his acting. We're going to talk about his stand-up comedy. There is just so much to get to. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
music was great, the singing was dynamite, the dancing was excellent, the people in the audience loved it.
When I heard you singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I thought you were little Michael Jackson reincarnated, come out and sang again.
Brought me back to my teenage years. Thank you.
Do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me.
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me because he's an actor, he's a comedian, he's a singer, he's my friend. Dennis Newman is here. We were talking about that he grew up in Belmore, went to MEPM, and that we were talking about his music and his band Stimulus and how he played all over Long Island. And it's been a while since you played, but he would definitely do it again, which is good to know. So I want to talk about comedy. So let me see if I got this right, my fun facts. You took the stand-up university class? Okay. Hey, I'm right. With Peter Bales and Rich Walker, and at the time, Steve Lazarus. Yes. I love him. Steve's in Florida. Miss him to death. And you took the stand-up university. That is held at the Belmore...
Brokerage.
The Brokerage in Belmore. And that was in 2017.
I'll trust you on that because I don't know.
Okay. So, what made you decide to take the class and get into stand-up?
I don't know. I just, I went to see some comedians. It looked fun. I wanted to try it. I was looking at that time to break out of my comfort zone. I said, so let me do something I probably shouldn't do. And I tried stand-up comedy, and it was fun. And I was like, let me actually learn how to do it because, from doing it, it's not, everyone's, it's easy. Just get up there. It's not easy at all.
Who said it was easy?
A lot of people, they watch and I could be better than that. Try it.
No.
Get up on, just try an open mic and see how much you...
Try to write 5 minutes of material.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge within itself.
So I learned how to formulate jokes and stuff like that. And it's funny because my first show, I had 5 minutes. I had exactly 5 minutes of material, and about a minute and a half, 2 minutes through, I forgot the rest of it, and I just kind of had to wing it. Everyone said it was great. They're like, you're lying. You didn't just start comedy.
Did you keep
Meanwhile,
the
this
little
sucked.
cheat note on the table?
No, I never used to cheat.
Really?
I don't like to because I find if something's in front of me, even if I'm watching TV and there's subtitles, I will read them. If it's in English, I don't care. I'm focused on it.
No, I get
so I don't
it,
want to get
I
up
get
like,
it.
so, hi, how's everybody doing tonight? You doing well? How about you over there?
Right,
So,
no, I know.
I never look up at the audience.
No, because my first show at Stand Up New York, I went blank. Until I got that first line, and then it just flowed.
And I found out from a lot of comedians, even pro comedians, they said a lot of people did that.
Yeah,
they
it's
just
like a deer in
froze or
headlights.
just lost it.
Yep.
I heard Jerry Seinfeld. He had a cheat sheet with just words. He read off the words and walked up the stage.
But it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. I know when you graduate from stand-up university, or when you go to an open mic and you're trying to do new material and stuff. Yeah, you got something there just to glance at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I probably should have wrote keywords because it probably would have helped me quite a few of my shows.
Points,
when I left some of my best jokes out. And then on the way home, I'm like, I should have done that one. That was funny.
And
even just reading crowds is tough. I noticed that because I started doing, I don't want to say I was a great comedian, I wasn't, but I was doing okay here. I was getting a lot of laughter. And then I went and I did a show in Manhattan, and everybody just stared at me all night.
It's another animal.
They said I did good. I'm like, you were allowed to laugh. I got no response at all, which to me was the worst thing. I'd rather be booed because then I could work on that.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do that, you can get up at 8 o'clock and do a show. Stay where you are. Do another show at 10 and just have a
completely
totally
different crowd,
response.
totally different vibe. Yes.
And it's happened.
And I wish I could do it because even in the band, the more people that were there, the more comfortable I was, which is opposite for a lot of people because they feel nervous. I like the crowd. I feel it off the energy.
Absolutely.
In a band, you kind of get away with it more because as soon as they hear a riff of a song, they're going to get into it. As a comedian, you got to bring them there.
Yeah.
So it's hard because I need them to be there to get there, and I can't get them there until they're there. You know, so it's a whole thing that I had to work out.
And it really is your first. It's really your first joke.
Right.
It really starts at your first joke, and hoping they laugh, and then you reel them in.
Because that's what they say. Put your best stuff in the beginning, middle, and end.
Correct. So you got to make sure all of
that
it's
roller coaster
good.
the whole way.
Right.
Because I'm no Bill Burr or Dave Chappelle. I can't keep them going for an hour.
So no. I mean, I think pushing it. I did 45, and that was pushing it. That was like I was like running out of gas.
Yeah.
So at the end, you know what I mean?
I mean, if the crowds get, I never really did crowd work. I probably should have tried that because
you
that's fun
definitely
too.
should have, yeah.
But I was just trying to work on material. I wanted a full hour of material, and I don't even remember the longest show I've done. It was at least a half hour.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because just like we were saying with the show when we were on break, like once I got into it, once I knew I had solid 10, 15 minutes and I had a 5-minute spot, I'm like, I'm getting a light already? I've only been up here for like 30 seconds.
I know.
And then even when you start
like
doing
that.
10 to 15 minutes, sometimes like, wow, the light already? But when you're having a bad night, it's like, it's got to be near the end. Oh, I only did a minute. Oh, God, how am I going to do this? But just that when I had that material and I was doing it somewhat regularly, because I can never really commit like you really needed to.
Right.
But it did just flow, and I was like, wow, I did a half hour.
So now here's a question for you, because I know I'm doing a lot more acting these days than comedy. Is the same thing happening for you?
I had a pretty rough couple of years, and I haven't been doing much of anything.
Okay.
So I like that stuff, like what we're going to get to later is coming out.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get back into acting. Of all the things I've done, I would say probably the band and acting were my two favorites.
Yeah.
I enjoy comedy, and at some point I would like to get to that too.
Yeah.
But it might be hard for people who don't do it to believe, but acting is actually easier than comedy. Acting, they give you what they want you to do, give you an idea how to do it.
Well,
you
you
just
have
to do it. Comedy, you have to write the whole
Right,
thing.
yeah.
And you got to do it night after night after night.
You
Like
do,
people don't realize,
you do.
you're not doing a show once a month. You really want to be a professional comedian. You
You
got to
be out there every
day.
night. You see, we were just
Every
talking about
day.
this the other day because someone was saying, are you doing stand-up? And I'm like, not as much as the acting. And the thing is that if someone asks me to do a show, I'll do a show or fundraiser,
Right.
Something for a good cause. But you know what it is I don't know. I just, like you said, you got to be out there every night doing it. And when I started in the early 90s, I was in Manhattan.
I just wish,
I was
that's
in
another
Manhattan
thing.
every
'Cause
night.
I was
in
told by
Manhattan every
everybody,
night.
like,
you got to hit
you
Manhattan.
gotta be-
You got to
you
be
gotta
in
be in the
Manhattan.
city.
I'm too friggin' old right
Yeah.
now to schlep to the city on a nightly basis.
I work way too much.
It
So.
just doesn't fit into my schedule now.
But I had some really good professional comedians give me a lot of good
You
advice.
did, and we have some pictures of some professional comedians.
And they all said you got to go in the city.
Let's show you on
pick
stage.
up shows.
Let's show you on stage.
Yeah.
That's you in the city. That's at Broadway,
Yes.
right? And we got you at
Caroline's.
And there's Governors. And Dangerfields.
That was great. I actually originally wasn't on that show, and I got to thank John Butera for that because he was doing the show there, and
Shout out to John.
I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do Dangerfields. It's just because
Yeah.
that was an iconic place.
I
Not only
did
was
it-
Rodney iconic.
I did it a week before
Yeah.
the COVID.
It sucked.
Before
I was going to say
everything
before it
shut
closed.
down, and then it did close.
Yeah. But look at the talent that came out of Dangerfields.
Oh, forget about it.
I mean, there's other clubs in the city too, but Rodney
yeah.
just had an
Oh,
eye for
yeah.
young talent.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I got to get on that stage one
Yeah,
time. And he goes,
yeah.
can you bring people? I was like, I will find a way.
Legends,
I'll bring
legends
whoever
stood
I
on
need.
that stage.
And that was a great show. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so let's see who you met and hung out with and who gave you some advice. So there's Artie Lang. Artie, that's when he was at Governor's, and
Yes.
he actually, just leave that there a second, thank you. That was the night I was actually on Limo Talk, and we grabbed Artie that night, and he came in and he sat with us for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes,
Wow.
telling stories. It was great. It was great.
Billy Mira was also there that night. That's
Yes.
how I actually got to
Yeah.
meet Artie because
Yeah.
they were friends.
I know. Sweetheart. Sweetheart.
Yes.
Great man. Next, Chris Roach.
Guy makes me feel small.
I was going to say, because you're how tall? You're 6'.
I'm like 6'3", and
he's like
hi, Chris.
6'6".
Yeah.
I know, he's crazy. But Chris, again, I've had him on the show. I'm hoping to have
Amazing
him on
guy.
again.
One of the most helpful guys in the industry.
Sweetheart. Sweetheart. Great guy. And Chris Monti.
Yes, another great talented comedian.
Had him on the show. He's fantastic. And this is a comic, Jay.
Jay London.
Jay London, I actually worked with him.
Really?
In the early 90s.
I hope my sister is watching this because years and years ago, I went with my father to the brokerage regularly. We get the free tickets.
Yeah.
And then we saw him,
Yeah.
and then we went with my sister one time, and she was petrified
Jay's
of him.
great. I'm
and
going
he
to
kept
shout out
talking
to
to
Jay.
her.
I'm going to send this to him too. Jay and I worked together in the 90s. I love the man.
I love his type
Love
of
him.
comedy.
I know.
Mitch
I know.
Hedberg,
Yes.
you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was just that guy.
Yeah.
Scared my sister, which made it funnier. And then years later, I do a show, and he's on the show. I'm like, what are the odds? It's like 30 years later, and there
And
I am
she
doing
was
the show.
there?
No, he was there. And I'm like, wow, I get to work with someone who I actually watched, you know, before I
Isn't
even
that
thought
great?
of doing comedy.
That's like me with one of my comedy idols is Bob Nelson.
He's amazing too.
Okay, and I watched Bob on the HBO specials, and then I got to, 9 years ago, he was looking for comics to join him and do improv in Huntington. And I said, it was 6 weeks, and I said I could only do 4 out of the 6 because I was going to be in Florida for 2. And he goes, Theresa, come on down, I don't care. And it was the best 4 weeks of my life, working with a band that I loved watching, and I got into prop comedy because of him. Because I used to do my feminine douche commercial, and that's all because of Bob. And to work with someone again, like you said, who you watched, and to meet them or work with them.
I'm glad you did that because a lot of people stay away from prop comedy. But
it works for some people. I got a lot of flack over that, and let me tell you something.
You know, Carrot Top is still making millions in Vegas, so he's doing something right.
know-
I'm not saying they're going to go full out like that, but Gallagher had a great career with it. And
I love prop
Carrot Top,
comedy.
You got to.
It depends on how it's
Yeah,
done.
you have to do it right.
Again, I do the 3 characters. I'm sure you've seen me do it, but a lot of people like, it's so old, or you shouldn't do it anymore. But people kept laughing at it, and that's why I kept doing it.
You got to do what you want to do because it's got to be real. It's got to come from a place.
Yeah.
And if the crowd enjoys it, so I mean, there's a lot of comics
I know.
I don't
I
get
might resurrect
that
it one
have
day.
a great career, and there's a lot of comics I love that people don't get. You know, comedy is subjective.
It is.
Your audience will find you.
That's it.
Like even you have all these crowd work comedians right now. Some people hate crowd work.
Yeah,
and think that's a cheap way
well,
of doing
the warm-up
comedy.
comics.
But
Hello.
yet, look at Matt Rife.
Yeah.
I don't think he minds. He's doing very well with it. So.
No, but the warm-up comics out there, shout out to Joey Cola and Regina DeChico.
Another really nice guy.
Richie Byrne, and there's just, they're fantastic. And someone who I love and admire, shout out to Eddie Brill, who was the warm-up comic for Letterman for years. So,
Richie Byrne was another guy who spent a lot of time on the phone with me and in
Richie
person that
warmed up
really
for
helped me out.
Oz.
No, I'm saying he helped me a lot in the beginning.
Oh, Richie's great.
Great advice. I just
Richie's
saw him last
great.
week. He's a
Did
great
you
guy.
really?
Great guy. Yeah.
I love him too. I'm going to send everyone we're mentioning the show so they know that we mention them.
I don't want to get him mad, but Paul Bond helped me a lot too. So
Oh yeah, Paul.
I don't want to.
Paul, yeah, give a shout out to Paul. As a matter of fact,
Because he was doing lessons, and
well, you and I, we're gonna skip to. We're gonna skip to you. Thank you, because you and I took an improv class.
Yes.
With Al Isaacs.
Another guy.
Right
Yeah.
there you are. There's
There you
Al.
go, with Paul.
And there's Paul.
Yeah.
So since you mentioned him, let's show him. So yeah, we were taking a great improv class. It was a lot of fun.
I think
with
improv
Al.
really helps with acting and comedy too. I think it's a necessity, and
Absolutely.
I think it's undervalued by a lot of people.
Appreciate it. Yeah, great. Thank you. See, you're skipping around, but that's okay. All right, so listen. So let's talk about March 2018 to September 2018. For like 6 months, you co-hosted a show called Pimps, Cool Cats, and Comic
Pinups.
Shows. Oh, what did I say?
Pimps would have been a completely different show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read it wrong.
I hope Theresa's watching this, my co-host Theresa.
Wait, what did I say?
You said pimps. That's great. That's going to be my next show. Watch for Pimps, Cool Cats, and Comics. Okay, I can see I made that
I'm
mistake.
sorry. I meant pinups, but look.
Yes, it does kind of look like Pimps.
I'm sorry. I wrote it real quick. I apologize.
That would be a great show, though. So if there's any pimps out there that would like to do a show,
Oh my
reach
God.
out.
Pinups. I apologize, but how funny is this? Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comic Shows.
The reason that the name was because Theresa was a pinup model at the time.
Yes, I remember
And I was
that.
doing comedy at the time,
Yes.
and she had a page called Pinups and Cool Cats.
Yes.
So like, oh, just had the comics on that. We got a show.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God, that's funny though. That's funny. I'm glad I'm amusing everybody. This is great. And you did that, but you also did TNS, which was the Newman show.
Yes.
Which we have that too.
The Newman show was more the direction I was going. That's just kind of very similar to what you're doing in a variety show. But I wanted to also touch on sensitive and controversial topics, which, you know, sometimes it was a model or a comedian on, sometimes it was, you know, someone talking about guns or politics or whatever else.
Right.
And just
Yeah, you covered a lot.
try to open the floor for everything.
Yeah.
Which I know you don't, so we won't get into that.
No.
Like the controversial stuff.
No, I really don't.
But sometimes it is good to talk about stuff. Like, you know,
No, it's
politically,
good to
I don't
talk,
care which way you lean. As long as you can open up discussion and have respect for each other on both sides of the
Correct.
argument.
Have a conversation because, you know, I say I don't talk about religion or politics, and I call it politics, and I'm going to say that's what I call it. And I usually don't because then I see on Facebook how these relationships, let's say 25, 30-year friendships.
Completely end, yeah.
You know,
Families,
they have different, right, even family members, they have a different opinion, and all of a sudden you stop talking to them. Like, really, can't you be a grown-up, put on your big boy panties, and just sit here and say, you know, well, you're for this one, I'm for this one, and why, or how, and have an adult conversation, and like, still be friends.
Yeah, if you disagree with me on anything, even politics, I'm not going to hold that against you unless you make it personal.
Well, that's the whole thing.
So, you know, you want to vote left, you want to vote right, you want to vote for independent, go ahead. You know? But don't attack me for my choices.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
That's how I feel.
And I got to say this,
way.
if you need a celebrity to tell you how you vote, you probably shouldn't vote.
Right.
I don't care whether it's Taylor Swift or Kid Rock. I really don't care which side of the aisle.
I agree with that too.
You know, politicians want to bring celebrities out for whatever.
Yeah,
fine.
because they want to get their fans.
They have nothing in common with me, any of these people. So I'm going to vote for what makes sense for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't live where they live. I don't make the money they make. I don't, you know, shop.
And again,
where
that
they
really
shop.
goes for both sides.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, really. It's just.
I don't care which celebrities endorse me. I really don't.
I totally agree. Totally agree. So, like I said, you did the two shows. You did, which one was the last one you did?
The Newman Show.
Right.
And exactly 5 years ago today, we were at the Irish Pub, Sean's Bar in Baldwin, doing the finale.
Oh, wow. So you did it on location?
Yes.
Okay. Because you were here.
I was here in the studio.
You were here at Beautiful Paradise Studios for a year.
I kind of missed that too, I'm not going to lie.
For a year?
I gotta ask Bobby about that, but
Right,
I think it was at least a year.
Figure a year. But he was here. Beautiful Paradise Studios in Massapequa.
It was a lot of fun.
You do miss it.
Yes.
I know. It's fun to do. I'm here. I think I'm going to be starting my 5th season soon and doing my show 6 years.
I spread myself very thin at the time.
Yeah.
And my schedule is crazy. It rotates. I work a lot of 16+ hour days.
Right.
And it just...
Well, you, talking about jobs, you got into real estate.
I did.
And then you kind of like left real estate.
I did.
Do you want to tell people what you do now?
Well, what
Or
I did
not
before
really?
and during, I'm a corrections officer in Nassau County.
Yes.
And
Thank
in
you
the
for your
beginning,
service.
they don't, you know, especially when I started, it's public knowledge. I started at $30,000 a year. I was trying to pay my mortgage. Those two don't go together in Nassau.
Nope.
So I needed another job. So I started doing real estate on the side,
Right.
which at the time was more profitable, but long term,
Right.
you know, this is a job that's going to pay my
Yeah,
bills,
yeah,
my
yeah,
retirement,
yeah.
my health care.
No, it's good to even have that, and you could always go back to it because right
Right.
now the houses are crazy, insane. Everything's selling above asking,
Which was great for me.
which is great for agents.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's just insane.
Yeah, it's great because I would work with buyers too, which a lot of people didn't like too.
Yeah.
But to me, I didn't care. I didn't care if they were buying something that was $75,000 or $7 million. I treated everybody
Right.
the same.
Of course.
But, you know, to be fair, that wasn't what I was relying on for income. So,
No, I get it.
you know,
I totally get it.
and I'll tell you, one of the cheapest deals I made for me, or the least profitable deals I made for me, led to the most profitable deal I ever made because they came back to me again and bought a house that was very
see?
expensive.
You see?
I got a huge percentage of that
Nice,
cut.
nice.
So sometimes
all
you got to
works
take care of the
out. It
little
all works
people
out in
or
the
the little
end.
deals because they grow.
Absolutely. Talking about deal, we got a deal. We got to go to my next break. But don't go away because there's so much more with Dennis when we get back after these messages.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
The music was great, the singing was dynamite, the dancing was excellent, the people in the audience loved it.
When I heard you singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I thought you were little Michael Jackson reincarnated, come out and sang again.
Brought me back to my teenage years. Thank you.
Do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me.
How you doing? It's Sal, the voice of Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook. Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love. Welcome back to Tea Time, everybody. Shout out to Jennifer Lentini.
Definitely had to give her credit and a throwback to last week.
Yep.
She is the reason why I'm in some of the movies I'm in, because she introduced.
We both worked with Michael.
Yeah, she
Yes.
called me over. It's like, you got to meet this guy.
Same
He makes
here.
movies.
Yep.
You want to be in movies.
Yeah.
So
You ought to be in pictures. All right, so listen, let's talk about acting.
okay, acting is something I was always interested in, and my sister worked with somebody who had a mutual friend who was Jim Haggerty.
Yes, and you
And-
worked with Jim a numerous amount of times.
Yes, I wanted to actually make a movie at the time, so he said, "Why don't you shadow me and I'll show you how I do it."
Well, he has Yellow
8 Productions.
8 Productions, and you did
Did a little bit of
4
everything for
movies.
him.
You did like 4 movies with him.
Yeah.
So the first one was from 2009.
Well, actually, I did more than that.
Right?
Hopefully, it'll get released at
2009
some
was the
point.
first one.
That sounds about right.
Witchmaster General?
Witchmaster General was my
And we got
first
a
movie
pic
with
of
him.
that. We got a pic of that. So what? No, we don't have a pic of that. Sorry, we don't have a pic of that.
Phil
but,
Lewis from LA Guns was
But you
one
were
of the
a
leads.
production assistant.
Yes.
On that, you also.
I played Bill Bixby in that.
You did. You played Bill Bixby, and then in 2011, you did. Is This a Job?
Is This a Joke?
Really?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Is This a Joke was basically in the vein of, like adult jokes, just acted
And you
out.
played a bartender.
I played a lot of things
Right?
in that.
Oh,
I
you
was in
played-
several scenes. Yeah,
Oh,
it
you
was just
were?
all small clips of
Like vignettes?
jokes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of like the Kentucky Fried Movie, or
Yeah.
what does it do till you go blind, or something like that. It was all just short jokes that were just
cool.
made into a movie.
And then you did 2012. You did When Death Calls.
Yes.
You played a cable guy.
Yes.
And that was
Which was a
part-
big stretch because I was a cable guy at that time.
Were you really?
Cablevision,
Oh,
yeah.
that's hysterical.
And I was a bartender. Most of the roles I played, it was something
Well,
I
again,
didn't realize.
that was with Jim. So Jim
Yes.
did in 2012. You did When Death Calls, Cable Guy. With Jim again, 2013. You did Cold Dead Hand. You played a cop.
A little bit of a stretch because
And
I'm
that was-
corrections officer.
And that was a short. That was a short film.
I think
what
that
it
was
says.
part of a
Like an anthology kind
anthology,
of thing.
yes.
And then in 2016, you were with Jim again, doing Make Them Die Quickly, and that you played a slasher. These are like I think
Did I
these
not
are
do
all
that in
in
real
the
life?
these are all in the horror genre.
Yes.
Correct?
Well, except for Is This a Joke? Because that was just
Yeah.
comedy.
But he leaned that away.
Yeah, his passion, I think, is more horror. As there's
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
movies that aren't out yet
And
that
there's
hopefully
some-
will get released
yeah,
one day. It's more horror.
I couldn't show a couple of the posters because they're a little risque.
Yeah.
I gotta say. So there's a little nudity in some of them.
There's a lot of nudity in
A
some
lot
of
of
them.
nudity, yeah. So yeah, a couple of the posters, I like, I can't put that up. I can't put that up. I think that's why I didn't go with Witchmaster General because I was like, oh, if I can't put up the, I don't know.
Which
whatever.
message? At least the cover art you could have put up
The
because it was cool.
cover was, the cover was, yeah, there was no naked
know.
women on that one.
No. That was fun because, again, that was the first movie I ever worked on. Phil Lewis from LA Guns was one of the stars.
Yeah.
He was a great guy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on there were on their way up, on their way down, still currently active. So I got to meet a nice mix of
Yeah.
people in the business, which showed me,
That's cool.
and that's when I, acting in that, I was like, hey, I could do this. Let me become an actor. So we'll see how that works out. Still trying. But I can't say I've been in a lot of movies now at
You
this
have,
point.
you have. And so in 2020, you and I were in a movie called The One. And that is Sarah Martin.
Yes.
That was her movie. We have the poster for that one. And that was a lot of fun. We filmed that on Long Island.
Yes.
And then you actually took a pic with Joe Ganiscolo. Scoli. I don't want to say that his name wrong either.
Yeah, I'll come
I'm
looking for
Italian,
you.
I
He'll be
can't
waiting
say
outside in the
Italian
parking lot.
names. Ganiscoli. And he was on The Sopranos.
Yes.
And he was in The One. And I don't think he was there the day I was there, though.
I think he just did the
I don't
one scene.
remember.
Well, at least that
Yeah.
I was there in the bar.
Yeah, so shout out to Sarah Martin, because I'll be sending this to her too. And then you did, 2021 was really, I think, one episode of a TV series called Manhattan South, and that was with a bunch of people.
Manhattan South was a pilot that
Yeah.
still may or may not come to light.
Yeah.
That was with, thanks to Chris Cardona, whose acting course I was taking for
and that was a lot of the our
a lot of people from
classmates
there, yeah.
were in that, which is nice, right?
That was a really good pilot. So I do hope that does get out
I know
there at
there's
some
so
point.
many pilots that you hope that they get,
Yeah.
you know, some life into them. You know, what
And I
I'm
know
saying?
Chris put a lot of himself into that, and
Absolutely.
I think it showed. The acting talent in that was amazing. So hopefully
yeah.
they get to see it.
I mean, we also did It's Love Bro together.
That was
Again, we didn't have there's the poster. Thank you for that. We didn't have any scenes together. You played
No.
but you played a bartender.
bartender.
And he
I'm
had
typecast.
he had some experience with that in the past.
Yes. I used to bartend at the
And
Westbury
that was a lot
Manor.
of fun. And the next pic is actually us at the premiere. You can leave that there a minute.
Hey, that sure looks familiar.
I'm all the way to the left, and there's Michael, and there's Jen Lantini is in the center. And who's that beautiful woman that you have your arm around?
I don't know. That's when I was doing Pimps, Cool Cats, and Comics. Just kidding. That's my fiance, Veronica, or Veronique.
Yes, Veronique. Well, we call her V, because I
Yeah.
know my niece is
Because I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I guess go with
my
V.
niece is Victoria, and I call her V. So when I see her, I call her V also. And she's beautiful. And you guys, yes, you got engaged. It's going to be a year this March, right? That you got engaged, or is it longer than that?
Yeah, in March.
In March, it'll be a year.
We just
right?
passed our
But you're together
9th
like
anniversary
I was gonna
of
say,
dating.
I was going to say almost 10.
Yeah.
But 9 years. And how'd you guys meet? Can
Through
I
a
ask?
mutual friend, Ann.
Okay.
The
Wasn't
first-
it a comedy show?
No,
or-
the very first time we met was at Ann's Halloween party. She had a
Okay.
house party,
Yeah.
and V came as Michonne. I don't even remember what I was that year, but I
I
remember
was
what
going
she
to ask
was.
you that, but you
I
don't remember. Do you remember?
She doesn't know
So
either, so I
long
don't feel
ago.
bad. I know what she was, but she doesn't know what I was. Just saying.
All right, but obviously you made an impression.
Yeah, and then we were at the famous Table 10 at Ann and Jeremy's wedding,
Okay.
where I made her come to my show. Because
Yeah.
the band actually kind of was broken up at the time.
Right.
But we came back to do a charity event,
Right.
and she was at that show.
Nice.
And then, you know, once
And
you
then
see me sing,
after
it's just
9 years,
irresistible.
is it after 8 years you put a ring on it? Or
Well,
after
it
9
was-
years
it
you
was-
put a ring on it?
It was 8.5, I
Really?
guess, close to that. Huh?
Wow. God bless you, V, because you
How
have
to get past the
patience of a
7-year itch.
saint.
If we get past the 7-year itch just dating, then you don't have to worry about anything now.
No, sorry. No, I don't think I could wait that long. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about. So we talked about It's Love Bro, and that was a lot of fun. That was a rom-com, and you were really, really, really funny. You are. You had a funny scene.
That movie, I'll tell you, not that I have much experience in movie making or acting, but I will say it's very hard to make a comedy. Because, first of all, not only does the script have to be good, but you need the actors that can pull off the timing of comedy with no
Yes.
audience response and
Yes.
do it again, do it again, do it again.
Right.
And that was
Like you're
cast
doing it for the
perfectly.
first
It really
time.
was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the leads, everybody in there was perfectly fit for their role.
Yeah, no, it was
Very funny.
it was great. That's was written and directed by George Massimillo, and
You can say his name.
I can. And Michael edited it.
Michael who?
La Gatuta.
There you go.
And he's great. He's great. I had him on last week. You know, he dressed up.
Yes.
We got dressed up, and he was an astronaut.
Like I said, both of them are great too.
It was
They
so good.
very
They're
helpful to me,
fantastic.
obviously.
They've known
and,
each other
you know.
forever. They work well together.
Yes.
I mean, they do really, really.
And they put good stuff out there. It's, you
Yeah.
know.
And let's talk about Horsetown because we've got the poster. Carmine's going to put it up anyway because we have it. But I've got it here too, live in person. Thank you.
The award-winning
The
Horsetown.
award-winning, yes, because it won 2 awards at NILIF. It won for editing and it won Best Horror. And again, you and I had no scenes together, but yet we were in a scene together.
Yeah.
The magic
I got to say, that was amazing
editing.
how Mike did that.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was great.
A lot of the scenes that people weren't in the same room and you can't tell. Like, even with the lighting and everything, it worked out.
Especially you.
I came in late on the project, so a lot of my scenes,
You did.
it was just me.
And there's us at NILIF. There we are together.
There's the awards, see?
Yay! That was great. Hey, listen, I got to holy cannoli, this is going so fast. I'm going to take my last break, but don't go away because when we come back, we're going to show Dennis Newman acting in Horsetown. We'll be back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
The music was great, the singing was dynamite, the dancing was excellent, the people in the audience loved it.
When I heard you singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I thought you were little Michael Jackson reincarnated, come out and sang again.
Brought me back to my teenage years. Thank you.
Do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me.
What's up, honey?
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Teresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrow.
Doc, who's your favorite Jimmy?
Teresa Farrow.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrow.
All right, Doc, I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching Tea Time. I appreciate it. Give a shout out to Rescuing Families. That's Gina and Vinny. They're a nonprofit organization that renovates homes for people with disabilities. And my friend Dave Revels, the man sang with the Drifters and the Persuasions, and he's going to be performing at the Argyle Theater on December 23rd. Make sure you go. I took my mother. She loved it, and I'm hoping to be there again this year. So shout out to Dave. I'm going to get him on the show either November or December, definitely before that show at the Argyle Theater. I'm with my friend Dennis Newman. He's an actor. He's a comedian. He's also a singer. He does it all. He does it all. He does it all. And he did a movie that we talked about before the break, Horsetown, and
for some reason Mike made me put 40 pounds on for the role. I don't know why.
You know, that was another thing. You and I have been fluctuating. We're weight up and down, up and down, and up and down. We're like Luther Vandross. We never know how we're gonna look, but you look fantastic.
Thanks.
I'm sure you feel good too.
Oh, I feel much better than I did a couple years
Absolutely.
ago.
All right, so listen, let's see Dennis in action in Horsetown.
You expect SchoolMed to accept that? Attention to detail, Mark. Attention to detail.
It looked fine when I looked through it before.
Well, it's not. Where are the pictures? You need detailed pictures.
Yeah, yes.
You know, Mark, I was a lot like you when I was your age.
You were?
Yeah, you're right, but you're aimless.
Thank you? Am I being fired? Because I was gonna ask you for a raise, and, you know, I just got a new place. I was gonna sell my car.
Need a raise? You got it. I just need you to step it up.
Yeah, of course, sure, yeah.
Be a star employee. An employee of the month?
I'll definitely try to do better.
Okay. And I need that proposal revision as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know that you had more than one scene, if I'm not mistaken, of you acting with no one there.
Yes.
Was that one of them?
Yes, it was.
Amazing. Amazing,
Thanks.
really. Because I know there was another scene where you had more of
A meeting with
yeah,
like a whole
meeting
table
with-
full of people.
And
Nobody
again,
was
nobody
there.
was there. And you and I have to say, you really pulled it off.
Thanks.
You really did. I would not know if you didn't tell me.
And again, Mike made it
Seriously.
easier. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Because you're turning your head and you're trying to acknowledge who's speaking back at you,
Yeah.
right?
Just trying to remember who was in what seat
Well,
to try to
he had to do
look
that
at
with
it
me
right.
too, because that scene that we do at the end of the movie, and I'm not going to say what it is, but we're
Yeah.
all there, and yet when I was
We're not.
filming, nobody was there.
That was
right?
probably the most people I was in the scene with, and it still wasn't.
It was great. Oh my God, no, it was great. It's a great movie. I love working with Michael. I love working with George, and I really hope you and I get to do something where we're in the same scene together.
I hope to get back into things
Yeah.
come the new year.
Yeah.
I just have to get through this year. It's still very busy. We're still short-staffed over there.
Yeah, I get it.
But they've been hiring, and just hopefully.
That's good. And I want people to know that you can find Dennis. It's Dennis Newman on Facebook, and it's Newman Dennis on Instagram. And do you have something upcoming? Is it called When We First Met, or is that no? Okay, so
Not that I know of.
All
I
right.
know there's some projects that haven't come out yet that I've been in, so hopefully one of them come out.
okay.
But nothing
Do you want
that I
to
know of.
Can you
offhand.
mention any of them? Or you have to
I don't
wait
know if
till they-
anything's coming out anytime
Oh,
soon. The only
okay,
other
all right.
thing that I know you could probably find is Harmony.
Okay.
It was a short. It was done a contest done by Josh Graydon,
Okay.
another phenomenal filmmaker.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
in the very first scene in
Yeah,
that.
he's great.
It's a short. What was it? 5, 10 minute, 10, 15, 20? I don't know. I'm trying to remember now. It was under a half hour. I
All
know
right.
that.
Okay.
But it was.
yeah, so it's definitely a short.
It was available on like Tubi and stuff like that, so
Oh,
it's probably
nice.
still out there.
Okay, so we can look for that. That's great. All right, we have like 2.5 minutes left. So
I am on
anything-
IMDb. I don't know if I haven't looked at it in a while, so I don't
Yes,
know if everything
that's
I'm
how
on
I
is
got
listed on
my.
there.
Yeah, that's how I found most of my information.
I don't think like Horsetown or His Love Bro is on there yet.
Might
be.
It
I haven't
should
been on
be.
there.
It should be. If it's not, it definitely should be. But I want to thank you for doing this. Is there anything I didn't mention that you want to mention in the last like 2 minutes that we have?
No, but you got my wheels thinking. I think I want to start Pimps, Cool Cats, and comics. So
Oh my God, I'm never gonna live this down. Oh my God, please forgive me.
or maybe I'll just become the pimp. I don't know.
Maybe.
Then I could act
You know,
as a
for
pimp in a movie.
Halloween this year, my daughter and her husband dressed up as a pimp and a prostitute.
Nice.
She makes me so proud.
I was just gonna say, as a mom, you must love
Yeah,
that.
I'm so proud. But one year they dressed up as Chucky and then Chucky's girlfriend, and they come up with really great costumes every year. But I don't know. Like I said, I had it written down as pinups, but when I looked real quick, you could see why I said it. Craziness. All right, so in the last minute and a half.
Like I said, I just hope to get active again next year, and
All right.
at minimal acting. So I'm
Yeah.
going to be getting out there again. So if anyone's looking for,
This look.
let me know. I can be a bartender. I can be a slasher. I could
cop.
Be a cable guy. A
A
cop.
cop. Yeah.
What else was I in movies? I was tough guy in bar.
Yeah, biker. You could do. I could definitely see
I think
that too.
what was I listed as in Manhattan South? I think it was tough guy at bar or something. I don't know what my actual was. Yeah.
It didn't say.
But yeah, hopefully this year I get back into it. I would love to get an
Yeah,
agent and
yeah.
really
Yeah.
start getting active. But
I'm looking for a Jerry Maguire myself.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking for a Jerry Maguire myself. But I wish you nothing but the best.
thank you.
And
And if I forgot to mention anybody,
what?
I'm sorry. Like people who
Oh.
helped me along. And,
Oh, what are you gonna do?
no,
But,
just
No,
my
I think
shot. I'm
you
old.
did good.
I'm
I think you
senile.
did good. I know you're a
I'm
little.
so senile. I might run for president soon. Another 20 or 30 years, I'll be running. Watch for me.
Oh my God, Oh, she's too funny. But listen, I want to thank everyone for watching Tea Time, supporting me. I'll keep doing it as long as you keep tuning in. And remember, tell everyone you love them. And I'll see you next week. Ciao, everybody.
Bye.